You're listening to The Morning Show on the Big 1520 across Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. My guest on the phone is Jack Myers with Social Security. Jack, welcome in, my friend. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, Seth. How are you?
Doing good. Doing all right, and trying to keep warm. We were kind of joking about how cold it got all of a sudden here in Central Illinois.
Yeah, sure did. You know, we went from fall to some, I guess it feels a little like winter, but I was listening to your forecast. It sounds like it's going to get better here, so
yeah, hopefully.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, for sure. I have to go to Benton for a high school football game on Saturday, so that's quite a bit south. I've been following the forecast down there, but it looks like everywhere in Illinois going to shape up nicely for the weekend. So, by the way, have your leaves started falling in your yard yet?
Yeah, a little bit. I was over in Indiana over the weekend though, and they've started falling a lot more there. I was surprised at the difference between here and the Indianapolis area. So we've got a little bit of ways to go to catch up to where they're at.
Interesting. So, yeah, I noticed last night some of mine are falling a little bit as well, but I think it's probably going to be this weekend, and we'll start to worry about some of those leaves after maybe this weekend. It's generally like I've always found this. It's always like the like right after the World Series, the leaves start falling pretty heavily. So, but at any rate, Jack, let's dive into this morning some really good topics you're bringing along with us today. Let's talk about Social Security, disability benefits, and trying to return to work. And you have programs that can help with that. Let's break this down a little bit here, Jack. What do we need to know?
Yeah, you know, Seth, there are a lot of people who are on disability benefits through Social Security or SSI, supplemental security income, who want to try to get back to work. You know, I mean, sometimes they've had a setback medically, and they're not able to work for a while. They become eligible for the benefits, but they would like to try to get back into the workforce. And, you know, for anybody in that category, I just want you to know there are some programs that we have that can help you with that. Mm-hmm. One of the first ones that comes to mind is something that's called the Ticket to Work. Oftentimes that's shortened down to just ticket. But basically what that is it's a free voluntary program that is going to support career development for Social Security disability beneficiaries and SSI disability recipients who want to work and progress towards a financial independence. So, you know, basically there are employment supports where you could learn skills that would help you work despite the impairment that you're dealing with. You can get additional info about this program at our website, SSAgov/work. But there's also a helpline that you can call, a Ticket to Work helpline. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be 1-866-968-7842. And, you know, you could call that number and you can talk to somebody, get some assistance on getting connected with an employment network that's going to help you get back into the workforce. And, you know, the thing about Ticket to Work, Seth, is the employers that they kind of get you connected with, they understand that you're dealing with some sort of disability and you're trying to learn or you know, in some cases relearn how to be part of the workforce. So, you know, there are some tolerances that are built in there that really help you be successful in your endeavor.
Sure. Like it sounds like, Jack, the PASS program. Tell us about this a little bit.
Yeah, you know, so that's another thing, Seth. That's the plan for achieving self-support. And, you know, that's going to be geared mostly towards the SSI program. Mm-hmm. And the reason I say that is because what the PASS does, the Plan for Achieving Self-Support, is it allows you to set aside resources and other income besides your SSI for a specified period. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, basically, the purpose of setting aside income or resources is to save towards a work goal that will help you reduce your need for SSI or Social Security disability in the future. And an example that comes to mind is, let's say a person wants to start a commercial lawn mowing business. Well, you probably should have a commercial lawnmower to do that. You're not going to get very far without that piece of equipment, but those are expensive. So if you're on SSI and you want to do that and you need to save money towards the purchase of that equipment, if you have one of these past programs in place, you've put it in writing, you've gotten it to us, we've approved it, then you would be able to save money towards that lawnmower or whatever the equipment is. That's just an example, but you would be able to save money towards that without that money counting against your eligibility for SSI, because with SSI, it's a needs-based program. So if you have, assets over $2,000, if you're a single person, then you wouldn't be eligible for the program. But with the PASS program, if you've got that excluded, then you would be eligible. So, it's all about getting it approved though, Seth. You have to put that in writing and get it approved through us first so that you can go down that, path, which sounds a lot like pass as I think about it. But, so you can work towards that ultimate self-support where you could hopefully one day get off of the benefits. That's kind of the idea there.
Sure. Throw out the information on how folks learn more about that program, Jack. And there is a form that they need to fill out, and they can get that at the website as well. But what's that information for folks out there today?
Yep, you bet. So you can go to our website for one. You go to SSA.gov and just look in our publication section. That's probably going to be the easiest way to find this, Seth. When you're at SSA.gov, if you scroll down, we've got a section that's called Publications. If you click on that, the first thing you'll see is there's a filter bar. And if you just type in the letters PLAN for plan, that's going to pull up a publication on this plan for achieving self-support.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can also get the form. It's called an SSA 545. So that's where you'd fill it out, put it in writing, and that's how you'd get it approved by us.
Very good. So keep those things in mind. Jack Meyer, Social Security, is my guest on the phone here for today. Let's talk about if returning to work is a goal. How do folks do that, and how does Social Security play a role in that, Jack? How about that?
Yeah, so so far we've talked about a couple of these programs: the Ticket to Work, the Plan for Achieving Self-Support. Those are programs that are designed to help you get back to work. But let's say you don't necessarily need one of those. Let's say you're just wanting to go out and get a job, and you've got a job secured, and you're trying to figure out, okay, what's next? Well, basically, what you need to do is you need to let us know about it. So you need to contact us, SSA.gov/locator if you don't know your local office contact info. But you need to contact us, let us know that you've started a new job, give us the employer identification number, the start date when you're planning to start, how much you're going to get paid, the contact info for the job. Give us all that stuff, and then we can get it set up and say, okay, now we know you're working. Then the next piece of this puzzle, Seth, is you need to report your wages to us. And you can do that by sending us pay stubs or faxing us pay stubs, but that's a little bit cumbersome. So another option that you would have is if you go and set up an account on our website at SSA.gov, set up a My Social Security account, then you can actually just go into your account and report your earnings once you get paid. But in order to do that, we've got to get that set up. So that's one of the reasons why you need to call us. But regardless of how you plan to report your wages, it's always important to let us know that you're starting to work so that we can be on the same page with you on that and prevent any kind of overpayments from piling up on you.
Sure. Very good. Well, Jack, anything else on that particular topic? And if not, just throw out one more time the ways folks get more information on all of this. It's a lot to break down there, so I'm sure folks have questions. Again, talking about if you are receiving Social Security or SSI disability benefits and you want to return to work, Social Security has programs to help. We've gone over a few of those, but again, Jack, how do folks learn more about that?
So two good things, two good resources for you to look at. If you go to our website, SSA.gov, in our publications section, once again, there's one kind of shorter, easier to digest pamphlet that's called Working While Disabled, How Can We Help, or How We Can Help. it'll just be kind of an overview of some of the programs we talked about and how it works. But then there's also one that's much more in depth, and that's called the Red Book. So it's kind of like a magazine of all of the things that you would need to know about working and collecting benefits. So both of those are on the website, Working While Disabled, How We Can Help, and the Red Book. And then, of course, you can always give us a call at 800-772-1213, or just go to the website, SSA.gov, and browse around for all different types of information.
Sounds great. Jack, believe it or not, my man, let's take a break if that's okay.
Yeah,
we'll come back and talk some more. Jack Myers, Social Security, on the phone with us here for this morning. Plenty more to get to with him on the WHOW Morning Show.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Thursday. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio Network. Corn higher, beans starting the day lower, and wheat opening higher. December corn 566 1/4, up 2 1/4. March corn starting the day 574 1/2, up 2 1/4. December 22 corn 549, up 2 3/4. November beans opening 1227 1/2, down 4. January beans down 1 3/4, 1242 1/2. November 22 beans 1238 1/2, down 3/4. December wheat 786 3/4, up 5 3/4. March wheat up 6 to start the day, 798 3/4. July wheat 790 3/4, up 4 1/4. December bean meal 339.90, down 90 cents. December bean oil 60.95, down 8 cents. A look at the opening numbers, the Chicago Board of Trade on this Thursday. I'm Jim Taylor.
At Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Baum Motor Company in Farmer City, our job is to help you and solve your transportation needs. This is Scott Baum. Both in Clinton or Farmer City, we'll listen and find options for a different vehicle, or we'll give you repair options to keep that car, truck, or SUV safe and trouble-free so you can continue with your busy schedule. If it has to do with transportation, we're here to help. Visit our full-service team today in Clinton or Farmer City. Baum Chevrolet Buick, right from the start.
Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson tells us live cashiers are important. Here's Dave with more.
Well, it's important to me because, first of all, I care about my employees. I want them to have a job and to be able to offer employment. But it's also important because the experience for the customer is interaction with the cashier. The cashier actually doing the cashiering is pretty darn important.
You get live cashiers every time you save up to 40% on your grocery bill at your Clinton Save-A-Lot. And as Dave always says,
and we hope to see you soon.
This is the Morning Show on 92.3 FM in DeWitt County, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. My guest on the phone is Jack Myers with Social Security. Jack, next Thursday is Veterans Day, so let's talk about veterans and active duty military members and Social Security being there for them. What do you have for us today?
Absolutely, Seth. You know, every year on Veterans Day, we honor the people who risk their lives to protect our country. And, you know, Social Security is an important resource for military members who return home with injuries. So a lot of times around this time of year, I'll bring up a couple of these things. And I think this year is definitely another good time to do that. What I want to call attention to for people is something that we call our Wounded Warriors webpage. So it's just a part of our website. So if you go to SSA.gov/Wounded Warriors, you can find answers to a lot of commonly asked questions. The page also is going to share information about our disability benefit programs. I mean, you know, it's just designed to help people who are coming home with injuries to understand the types of benefits that are available to them.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, one of the most important ways that we at Social Security can honor our veterans is by providing expedited processing of their disability claims. And so, you know, I mean, this isn't a change in whether or not it's going to be approved. You know, the criteria to qualify for disability is the same across the board for everybody. We can't change that for individual groups of people. But what we do is we actually expedite the claims. So in essence, we kind of put the claims for the veterans who qualify for this up at the front of the line. And, you know, basically to qualify for this, You have to be a veteran who became disabled while on active military service on or after October 1st of 2001. And really, it's regardless of where they were when they became disabled. So there's no, criteria that they had to be in a specific war zone or anything like that to qualify for this. You just had to have been on active duty. And then we can also do something similar in terms of expediting the processing for claims for veterans who have a VA compensation rating of 100% permanent in total from the Department of Veterans Affairs, because that's different than Social Security. So if you've got that rating from them, it doesn't mean you're automatically going to be approved for Social Security disability, but it does mean that you would qualify for the expediting of your claim, just like you would under the other wounded warrior thing we were talking about. So it's really just a way for us to say thank you and to, like I said, quite frankly, put their disability claims up towards the front of the list so that we can get them a decision faster.
Sure. I bet there is oftentimes, Jack, some confusion between these Social Security benefits and the benefits offered through the Department of Veterans Affairs. Do you mind speaking to that for a moment?
Yeah, definitely, Seth. And you're right. I think that sometimes what happens is people apply for, let's say, the VA. That seems to be maybe a little bit more front of mind for veterans. So they'll go through that process of applying for disability benefits, but maybe they don't think about our program. Maybe they don't realize that it's separate, and it is. So, you can apply for and get VA benefits, and then potentially also get Social Security disability. So they're definitely two separate programs. Please don't forget about ours. If you're unable to work because of a disability, then the Social Security disability program is something you should consider as well. And, one of the things too that's important, Seth, and sometimes the water gets a little murky for veterans along this front, is that you might be still in active duty. And a lot of people know that if you're working full time and receiving full pay for your work, you don't really qualify for Social Security disability because you have to be below the substantial gainful activity earnings level. But what people don't always realize is, sometimes with the military, if you're unable to work, you may still be getting your pay, at least for a while. But if you're not performing any services because you're disabled, the fact that you're getting that pay does not preclude you from drawing or at least applying for Social Security disability. So what we look at is, are you working? Are you physically performing services? And if you're not, then we really don't care about the pay you're getting for the Social Security disability program. So just keep that in mind. The fact that you're getting paid might not preclude eligibility for our program if you're not actually working.
Very good. Jack, anything else on that program before we move along here this morning?
Just another quick reminder, at the top of the segment, we talked about the web page, but I'll circle back to that. It's SSA.gov/wounded warriors. So that's where you can find out all about these two expedited initiatives I talked about, and then just in general, a lot of good information about our disability programs, kind of tailored towards those men and women who have served in our armed forces.
Very good. Jack Myers with Social Security is my guest here on the phone for this morning. Jack, do you want to talk about Social Security widows and widowers benefits, or would you rather jump to access for your new Social Security statement online? How about which topic you want to jump into next?
Yeah, let's jump down to the new Social Security statement. Because,
sounds good.
That there are some changes to that. So we've redesigned the Social Security statement to make it easier to find the information that you would need. And, some people might think, well, okay, what's a Social Security statement and who gets one of those? Well, basically it's something that shows a summary of your earnings record. It shows estimates of your future benefits, and then it shows other information that might be important to you with regard to Social Security. Now, basically, as far as who would get one of those, adults who do not receive Social Security benefits can access their statement online via the My Social Security account. So anybody who's 18 or over and not receiving Social Security benefits has access right now to their Social Security statement by creating the My Social Security account. But if you're 60 or older and you don't receive benefits, and you don't have a My Social Security account, we'll actually mail you one. So we don't mail them to everybody because it's very expensive to do that. But once you're 60 or over, if you don't have a My Social Security account and you're not yet receiving benefits, you'll get one of those in the mail. These have been around for a while, but the change is that we've just kind of streamlined it. If you're looking at it online anyway, there's a new color scheme. It's red, white, and blue. The ones that are going to be mailed are still going to be, kind of monochromatic, black and white. But the ones online are red, white, and blue. So it just kind of pops out at you. You see different things. The information is divided into sections so that it's easier to find what you're looking for. There's like different types of benefits section. There are some bar charts to break down your personalized benefit estimates. And actually, it'll give you up to 9 different age scenarios, depending on when you may start to receive benefits. Like if you're younger, it'll show you all 9 basically different options from 62 on up to 70. So it's really just a new look, new feel to this that we've done some focus group testing on, and it seemed to be most beneficial to people to see this information in the format that it's now organized in. So, check that out at SSA.gov by creating your own My Social Security account.
Very good. Well, Jack, I've got a minute left with you here, my friend. What would you like to jump into in the final moments together?
Just one other thing that I'll mention that I forgot to get to on the new Social Security statement is that we've also recently created these new fact sheets that we're adding to the statement, and they're kind of tailored on you. So, we look at your earnings record, we look at your age, and we'll kind of pick which category you fit into age-wise. And, if you have any non-covered work that wasn't taxed by Social Security, you'll get information about that. So it's kind of a special way to tailor the information that you might find most important at that particular time in your life. And that's just automatically going to be part of your Social Security statement now.
Very good. Jack, again, place to go for folks to get all that information.
www.ssa.gov.
Jack Myers, Social Security, is my guest on the phone. Jack, by the way, have a happy Thanksgiving, my man. It's always good to catch up with you. We'll talk more with Jack later on next month on the WHOW Morning Show.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton.